Well, we've got to that point of the podcast where we talk about what it's like to go viral. And as you can see, we've got a guest with us. Sarah-Jayne is joining us. And Sarah-Jayne went on a date on Friday night. And it was a bad date, to be fair. And we're going to go into the details of exactly what happened. Hopefully not all the details, might be too much. But essentially, Sarah-Jayne got home from this date and tweeted, well, I've just come home from, I think, the worst date. I think he'd agree, to be fair. Not a great show at all. Insulting my home, my job, and challenging me to ignore a text from my son. 4 toilet breaks and a smoke break all within the hour. Now, you're going to have to explain some of that to us. But 2 million views that tweet got. And as you can see, Sarah-Jayne is joining us now. So first of all, what should we go into first, actually? 2 million views. Are you completely kind of like blown away by the response to this?
I am. I have to say, like, it's quite heartwarming for me because I kind of am only dipping my toe back into the dating industry, dating world, and it's very different from the last time. So this was I think it was my third online date. The other two were grand. Grand as in like, nice lads, good friends or whatever, but nothing there. But this guy was just, yeah. And I was like, I was despairing, to be perfectly honest. Is this what's out there for me? So it was quite nice to kind of get a little bit of kickback, but I didn't in a million years think that 2 million people would kind of be reading about it. And I just hope that my son hasn't seen it yet.
So what actually happened? So you presumably been like messaging this guy back and forth beforehand. You go on the date, and then did he even say goodbye, or did he kind of like just punch out the toilet window?
No, I'll tell you what happened. I was the one who walked out in the end because he'd gone out for his smoke break, and when he came back in, that was when I was responding to a text from my son who was at home trying to cook pasta. And as anyone who has a teenager will know, you need to be very explicit. I did end up coming home to a house that stank of burnt pasta because I didn't actually get to respond to the text. But I was in the middle of texting, and he came back in and sat down, and he was fidgeting, and he just kind of said, "Oh yeah, who's that?" And I said, "It's my son." And he was just like, "He's nearly 15. Can he not be left at home on his own?" And I just, at that stage, just picked up my jacket and went, "Okay, I'm going to go." And he said, "You don't have to use that as an excuse." And I said, "I'm not. I'm just going to go. Take care. Have a lovely weekend." And I just left. But I was reeling when I got into the car. I was a little bit like, wow, because I've been texting him for 2 weeks, all on the app. And he was very sarcastic, and he was a bit of fun and stuff like that. And I kind of thought, yeah, he's got a great personality, but he just obviously, I don't know whether it was nerves or whatever took over him. His personality was completely different.
And what you got quite a bit, like obviously millions of people saw your tweet about it, but talk us through the response, like some of the responses that you got, because I guess there's always going to be some people who are just like, oh, or whatever.
Oh yeah, taking it as an affront to mankind, and that this was slagging off every man on the planet and accusing me of, oh yeah, that's hardly the truth. No one would make her ignore her son. And I was like, why would I bother? Like it's the story is like, I was kind of putting it out there because I'd actually gone into my girls' WhatsApp group. And I've sent a couple of voice notes, and they all thought this was hysterical. Like, because only you will go on a date with someone. Because I was real like, I have a hair washing schedule, and it bothers me having to wash my hair every day. But I wash my hair so that I look nice to go out on this date. I bought a new lipstick for this date, and they were all just like, "Do you know what? It would only happen to you." That's why I was putting it out there. I was like, you know what? This didn't just happen to me. I need a little bit of. So, but some of the responses, I mean, there was one guy, like, I don't know how PG this is, but there was one guy who said his worst first date was when he went to the toilet, he came back out, and the guy was sitting on the couch in a full-on gimp suit.
No.
So as bad as my date was, then when I read that, I was like, and then this poor chap was like, I had to climb out the toilet window to get out of the apartment. And I kind of thought, well, at least I was able to just pick up my coat and walk out. But then there were girls kind of saying, oh, this guy told me that I was dressed wrong, and that my earrings were distracting, and another one, the usual that you'd expect, people turning up drunk and, but, and then of course there were a few guys saying that similar happened with girls that they were going out on a first date with and stuff like that. Lipstick on the teeth, smelly breath, overpowering perfume, making you want to gag.
Was it mostly all kind of like funny anecdotes, other people telling their kind of stories or trying to sort of like say that their experience is far worse or something?
Oh God!
Was there anything kind of like more kind of like sort of emotional or something like that, as in like people sort of talking to you about dating in general, about kind of like hang in there, that kind of thing?
Yeah, of course. Like, if you do have the mom squad who were there kind of going, "Oh, we got you, you know what, like his loss." And yeah, of course there were a few kind of people sliding into the DMs chancing their arm. But I think I've been put off meeting people online for a little while anyway. But like, it was really nice. As much as I was kind of laughing about their experiences, it was really nice to kind of feel that, people have your back, even complete and utter strangers have your back and stuff like that. And I think it's not the first time. I think I mentioned I did go viral before at the start of lockdown with my son playing football in the garden. And it was just when everyone was having an absolute meltdown and being stuck in the house and stuff like that. And at the same time, like, I know we were talking about how Twitter can be a bit of a cesspit sometimes. People can actually be dead sound as well and make you feel really good about things. And I definitely came away with a smile more than anything else. I'm just dreading it now because I work as a journalist and I'm full sure my boss is going to ask me to write about it, and I really don't want to.
You got the scoop clearly, but I think it's I guess it's different for your son now, obviously going viral for himself and now with his mum. But I think it was lovely. As you said, it's just Twitter, particularly of late, people have got very down on it. But I think, as I said, this just jumped out to me, and I love just seeing people sharing the kind of, as you said, you've got your mum's chat. People, share that, but then your friends chat, sorry. But everyone just kind of jumping in with their thoughts. And it reminded me of kind of what Twitter used to be like as well for a lot.
That's exactly what I thought as well, because I've kind of avoided it like the plague for the last few months, particularly since it was bought out, because I was just getting ads, and then I wasn't seeing my friends' tweets. I don't know what way the algorithm works now, but people that I would have been kind of conversing with, and I would have used Twitter quite a bit. So it did kind of restore a little bit of faith in the fact that there is the same people are still there and the same crack is still on there if you want.
Well, Sarah-Jayne, you're making me think I need to reinstate my account now, because I came off it for the same reasons, all the things that you were just talking about. But it's lovely to know that there's some like good humor going on there as well.
This wasn't, if you want to laugh, going viral though. Pardon me?
This isn't just you. So I was just going to say, this wasn't just you going viral. Obviously, this is going to be about. I mean, you're not naming him or anything like that, and we definitely don't want you to do that here.
But the reality of it is, and I couldn't name him if I tried because I only knew his first name, and we didn't swap phone numbers. We kept it all on the app. So when I was able to block him, it was fine.
And I'm presuming that he hasn't been in touch since to say, I can't believe you told the world.
No, I don't even know if he's seen it. I don't even know if he's seen it. And, like, to be fair to him, I obviously wasn't his cup of tea either, because no one would like walk away from you 4 times in an hour. And I mean, the things I was telling him about my life, as I said, like my job, he was like, "Oh, so you're the type that writes the gutter press I try and avoid." And I was like, okay. And then when I told him whereabouts I live, whereabouts I'm from and whereabouts I live, he was like, "Why did you move from there to there? Because that's a back step. That's an awful kip." And I was like,
what a charmer.
I was like, okay, that's not cool. But yeah, it was the straw that broke the camel's back was when he was telling me to put my phone down when my child was burning down the house.
Yeah. He might want to update his profile as well, so sort of pre-warn others. This is what they might get.
Oh, and the other thing was his profile said he was a non-smoker, so that kind of took me by surprise. And he wasn't as tall as he said he was, and I walked past him when I saw him. I actually walked straight past him, and he was like, "Hello," and I was like, "Oh, hi, you." Didn't recognize you, but I was up for the chat, see what he was like, and yeah, he obviously.
And you're not put off from like online dating.
I know. To be honest with you now, I don't think there's much opportunity to meet people in any other way. I don't know if it's because people have become conditioned by COVID restrictions and stuff like that they don't kind of go out and mingle as much as they used to. I know here in Ireland as well, like nightclubs are virtually gone. Like 90% of the nightclubs around Dublin are gone. So you know, if you're going out to a bar, you're more likely to stick with your friends groups. Whereas I used to find that if you're in a club, you kind of move around and get to chatting to new people and stuff like that. It's not kind of the same, you know? So,
Yeah.
and it is nice to have a little bit of a captive audience.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, thanks so much for sharing your story, Sarah-Jayne. And as I said, I hope we both hope for you to have better luck in the future.
Yes.
On the dating.
And keep the posts coming, keep the tweets coming. Not that I'll see them, but
I'll
Tim,
let you know. I'll let you know when I meet my Prince Charming.